I'm Nancy Dawson, and I work with the Center for Excellence in Community Engagement. And we have a special set of programs that'll be going on this week, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. Of course, you know we just celebrated whose birthday? Dr. King's birthday. And today we're going to have a person who worked for Dr. King and was very significant in terms of her contributions to the movement. Can I get your attention, please? But first, we need to tell you we're here today as a part of a special program, which is called the HBCU Spread the Love Day of Service. And on Saturday, about 10 HBCUs from around the country will be celebrating Dr. King through service. We did this last year, and this year we're going to be doing it in terms of freedom music. What is freedom music? Does anybody know? What is freedom music? Anybody? Okay, the songs were sung during marches. Anything else? What's freedom music to you? Well, that's what we're going to be dealing with this weekend. We're going to be at the ballroom at 7 p.m. where we'll be having a competition. And several students and some community people will be competing for prizes with their interpretation of freedom music today. Every generation has its own freedom music. So you may not see the music that you have today as freedom. Who do you think would be a freedom music artist today? You say Kendrick Lamar. Why? Okay, because she said because he speaks to the African American struggle. Who else would be freedom music person today? Okay. Who else do you think? Every generation, people in my generation would see Tupac as a freedom music person. Okay? Every generation has those musicians who speak to the issues and the concerns that are happening. Also this weekend, as a part of this music showcase, is going to be a food drive. And the mission is free, and we're asking people to bring at least 2 canned goods. And we'll be donating those canned goods to victims of the storm, to charities that will be distributing that. So it's going to be a very good event. We also have a special judge. First of all, Ms. Harris is going to be judging. Your teacher, your professor, will also be a judge. And then we're going to have James Timmons, who's from G Unit, who's making a special appearance. Y'all know who that is? Huh? You know who G Unit is? Okay, y'all know that, right? He works with 50 Cent. So he'll be here as well. So we're going to have all kinds of judges from all different genres of music. We'll have hip hop, we'll have gospel, we'll have R&B. We'll even have somebody doing some Nina Simone. Nina Simone would be a freedom kind of music person. Y'all know who Nina Simone is? Okay. Well, it's going to be a very educational event this weekend, so we want you definitely to come out. So we had today Ms. Rutha Harris, and she is one of the original Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee's freedom singers. How many of you have even heard of SNCC before? A couple of you. Okay. And we've asked her to come out today because this is going to be, many times during the civil rights movement, they would have like teach-ins in which they would talk with young people, old people, to get them to learn and to understand. And so that's what this is going to be today. It's going to be a form of teaching where we've asked Ms. Harris to come to talk about her life, her career, some of the things that she's done, and she may even sing a little bit for you. Sometimes she does for us. So we'll see what all she does. And like I said, she'll be here as well as this weekend. I first met Ms. Harris several years ago when I helped to form a tour of Turkey with the Freedom Singers. And I'm going to have to tell you that in other parts of the world, people know who the SNCC Freedom Singers are. They got standing ovations all over Turkey, and they traveled all over the country. And they knew, and the young people knew who they were. So it's very important that those of you in this room also know about the people who are not only nationally known, but this is your own. Most of the freedom singers actually came from this area in Albany. It has a very special, two of them, a very special connection, okay? Very, very special connection. And I happen to also live near one of the other freedom singers. So I'm not going to, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring Miss Rutha on. We're going to ask you, we're going to try to keep this within a certain time limit. We asked her to talk and then we want questions from the audience. Okay, so if she gives us about 20, 30 minutes or so, and then we want questions from you for this legend of the civil rights movement. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Miss Rutha Harris.
Thank you so much. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. We've been struggling so long. We must be free. We must be free. They say that freedom is a constant dying. They say that freedom is a constant dying. They say that freedom is a constant dying. Oh Lord, we've been dying so long. We must be free. We must be free. I became involved in the civil rights movement during the summer of 1961 after completing 1 year of college at Florida A&M University. I came home for the summer and the Albany movement was going on. I pondered in my mind if I wanted to continue my education or if I wanted to join the movement. It took me about maybe 6 weeks to decide whether I wanted to become a part of the movement. And the reason why I joined the movement is because I thought I was free. And the reason I thought I was free is that my dad and my mother sheltered us from all of that stuff. So I thought I was free. And I was walking down the street one day, headed toward the SNCC office. Either Charles Sherrod or Charles Jones approached me and asked me if I was free. And I said, yeah, I'm free. I thought I was free until the movement. I became involved in the movement. I did voter registration. I participated in the mass meetings. I marched. I was jailed 3 times. I spent a total of 14 days in jail. Had a wonderful time in jail. That sounds funny, doesn't it? But I did, because we did have a wonderful time in jail, because we sang and we prayed. We were falsely arrested. We didn't do anything wrong. So we had what we call prayer meeting. And while we were in the jail cell, we said, come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Oh, Lord. Come by here. Then we sang that for a while, and then there was praying going on, and there was shouting going on, and we just had a wonderful time. Now, after getting out of jail, we march again. We knew that we would be arrested. Went back again. The second time I was arrested, my mom said, "Girl, don't you want to come home?" I said, "No, ma'am." She said, "Well, you should at least come home and take a good bath." I said, "Well, there's a shower." She said, "That ain't like getting in the bathtub." I said, "Okay, you come and get me." So the next time I marched. Now, after that, the original Freedom Singers were organized right here in Albany, Georgia, during the Albany movement. We were organized for the purpose of raising funds for Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. There were 4 of us. We traveled 50,000 plus miles in 9 months, covering 46 states. At that time, there were only 48 states. We traveled, and at one point during our travel, we were going through Alabama. And of course, we were shot at while we were going through Alabama. And the only person who couldn't duck was who? The driver. He couldn't duck because what? Right. And you talking about some praying going on in that car? But we got through that, and nothing else happened to us while we were on our tour. Our first concert was held at the YWYMCA convention in Urbana, Illinois. Pete Seeger, who was a folk singer, and his wife, Toshi Seeger, planned our tour. They are both deceased now. Wonderful experience. I shall never, ever forget. We sang at the March on Washington. How we got to the March on Washington, Harry Belafonte chartered a plane, and he asked if we would like to ride the plane. Of course. We rode the plane to the March on Washington. We sang at the March on Washington, and you can check that out on YouTube. I led one of the songs, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. Oh, we shall not be moved. Well, segregation is our enemy. It must be removed. Segregation is our enemy. It must be removed, just like a pail of garbage in the alley. Oh, it must be removed. The songs of the movement were taken from spiritual, gospel, rhythm and blues, and any other genre. Congregational singing, We used spirituals and congregational singing because the audience knew the sounds. We didn't have to teach the sounds. We only had to teach the lyrics. Like, come by here, my Lord. I'm on my way to Freedom Land. Where you think that came from? I'm on my way where? To Canaan land. All right, I'm going to teach you a song. Yay. Is that all right?
Yes.
The name of this song is Dogs. D-O-G-S. Dogs. Come on, Deanna. Come on. Come on, Deanna helps me with my junior freedom singers. That's why I called her up, because she should know. I'm not sure whether she remember, but she got to start back working on Saturday. Dogs. There was this black family and this white family that lived way out in the country. So James Bevel, who penned this song, said, if dogs can play together, why can't we as human beings play together? So the children couldn't play together. And each family had a dog. Each family had 10 children. But they couldn't play together. But the dogs could. So, repeat after me. Dog, dog.
Dog, dog.
Takaka.
Takaka.
Tuka.
Tuka.
Dog, dog.
Dog, dog.
Dog, dog.
Dog, dog.
Takaka.
Takaka.
Tuka.
Tuka.
Dog, dog.
Dog, dog.
Dog, dog, takaka.
Dog, dog. Takaka.
Tuka, dog, dog.
Tuka, dog, dog.
Dog, dog, takaka. Tuka, dog, dog.
Dog, dog. Takaka. Tuka, dog, dog.
Dog, dog, takaka. Tuka, dog, dog.
Dog, dog. Takaka. Tuka, dog, dog.
Dog, dog, takaka. Tuka, dog, dog.
Dog, dog. Takaka. Tuka, dog, dog.
Dog, dog, takaka. Tuka, dog, dog.
Dog, dog. Takaka. Tuka, dog, dog.
And then, why can't we?
Sit on.
Why? Sit on the apple tree.
Sit on the apple tree.
You walk a walk with me.
You walk a walk with me.
You walk a talk with me.
You walk a talk with me.
Well, why don't you hold my hand?
Why don't you hold my hand?
Tell me you understand.
Tell me you understand.
Now, can't you see
Now, can you see
that you and me
that you and me
I would be so happy?
would be so happy?
Sit on the apple tree.
Sit on the apple tree.
So, I'm going to be saying something different. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so when I point to you, that's when you're going to say what? Right. Dog, dog, takaka, tuka, dog, dog. All right? That's when we point. Are you ready? Dog, 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 my dog. I love your dog and your dog. I love my dog and my dog
Love your dog.
and your dog. I love my dog and my dog.
Love your dog.
I'm talking about a white dog. Continue. Gotta continue.
My dog.
Gotta
Love
continue.
your dog and my dog. Love your dog and your dog. Love my dog and my dog. Love your dog.
I'm talking about a white dog.
My dog.
I'm I'm talking about a black dog.
Your dog.
I'm talking about a coon dog.
Your dog.
I'm talking about an integrated dog.
My dog.
All them dogs.
Your dog.
All them dogs.
My dog.
All them dogs, Lord, Lord, and your dog. I love my dog. And then why can't we sit on the apple tree? You walk with me. You talk with me. Well, why don't you hold my hand? Tell me you understand now. Can't you see that you and me would be so happy? Sit on the apple tree. My little doggy was playing one day. Dog, dog.
Dog, dog.
Down in the middle by a bundle of hay.
Dog, dog. Dog, dog.
Another little doggy came along.
Dog, dog. Dog,
Say, let's get together and eat this bone.
dog.
And then why can't we sit on the apple tree? You walk with me. You talk with me. Well, why don't you hold my hand? Tell me you understand now. Can't you see that you and me would be so happy? Sit on the apple tree. My little doggy was playing one day. Down in the middle by a bundle of hay. Another little doggy came along. Say, let's get together and eat this bone. And then why can't we sit on the apple tree? Is that?
Questions anybody has? I got I'll start.
Water.
You want to get what you want?
Water.
How do you relate today's music with the freedom music of your day? Okay.
Oh, I have this.
You got it.
There's no relation because each movement has its own music. Black Lives Matter didn't have music. That's why it was unsuccessful. Music is very important. It plays a very important role. Music keeps you from being afraid. It keeps you, when a man tells you he gonna hit you with a billy club, and you keep on walking, you keep on singing, I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I ain't gonna let no billy club turn me around. All of us had the Lord on our backs because we kept on walking. Some of us were hit. Some of us were killed. Some of us were beaten. But we kept on pushing because we weren't going to let nobody turn us around. I ain't going to even let Donald Trump turn me around. And I ain't scared. Things gonna be all right. The Lord is in this place. There's a reason why Trump was elected. That's why I ain't scared. Hey, baby.
I wanted you to speak to, because we're calling this freedom music, and you said you had that initial question from Charles Sherrod about, do you think you are free? And when I was coming up under you all, at y'all skirt tails and following you all in the subsequent marches we had here, but that was a question I had when I was coming up. Are you free? What does that mean? Because I do think there's a common thread, because even one of their generation's artists, J. Cole, he has this song that he's at the end of the song, he's basically crying, all we want to do is take the chains off. All we want to do is be free. Why do you think that's always in this music, even back, in the civil rights music, even back further, that blacks still find themselves having to pull that or push that message out that we want to be free, even though some of them in here might think, because I'm here in college, I'm free, I can go to the mall, I can go wherever I want to, but explain to them or explain to us why, you think there's that concept that, no, we're not actually free.
Freedom, like I said in the beginning, is a constant struggle. We will always have to struggle for our freedom. Why? I don't know. But we have to, the songs is what keep us going. And that's one of the reasons why I keep doing what I'm doing. I'm 76 years old. And I travel to different colleges and universities singing these songs. I organized a group of freedom singers. I even organized a young group to keep the songs alive, because it's very important that we keep these songs alive. And what you should do, get your songs. Whatever is troubling you, write a song. Sing it. See, won't it make you feel better? That's why I'm still singing. And freedom ain't free. We got a long way. We can't even vote. Y'all know that. We still, Lord have mercy, we still on the voting rights bill. And people died for us to vote. People were beaten for us to vote. And there's still some cities do not want us to vote. They're trying to cut it out right now. I don't know what this upcoming administration is going to do. But I'm just waiting. And I'm not going to watch the inauguration. And I hope you don't watch it either. Did I? Thank you.
I'd just like to say, in answer to your question, what I feel as one of that generation who sang freedom songs and also who have listened to the songs of the younger generation. And I do, as you say, there is a common thread. They do recognize at this point that they're not free. I mean, you can go around, and because you can go into like you say, any place you want to go, there's no barriers up, there's no signs up that says colored or white. When you awaken to the amount of oppression that is yet going on in this country on people of color, then you realize, when you wake up, you realize that really, I'm really not free. If you see the tricks and the schemes that is played out in our government every day, where black folk are still denied loans, there's still redlining, and as late as 6 months ago, I recognize that even in housing discrimination, that's returning. They're doing things like giving black folk who come in to rent a house one list and give white folk another list. So, as you wake up as young people, you'll realize that this is not, the 60s movement was not the end of the movement. We've continued that movement. I've never stopped fighting. I've never not realized that the struggle is real and that the struggle continues.
For recording, okay. I know that we talk about bonding together and with the Black Lives Movement, but in general, as a community, we have a problem with banding together. What was, how do I say this? What was the what caused you guys back then to band together and to stick and hold on to each other? Because in our generation, we have power struggles and everybody wants to outrun and outbeat everybody.
It was the same back then. Nothing changed. It was the same back then. It was just most of us wanted to continue, and we did. It's the same thing.
Yeah, she's one of the contestants, you all, this weekend. Stand up so they can see you. She'll be singing for Nina Simone. You know Nina Simone? She's gonna be singing Nina Simone.
Which one?
That one
Which song?
This will be a surprise.
Oh, okay.
That'll be a surprise. You'll hold it, but that's one of the contestants you guys.
It's not the G song, is it?
No, not that.
Okay. It ain't the Mississippi.
That's a different one. I like to say.
I have a question. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, how would you describe the actual impact that music has on creating a change? The mic don't work. Oh. Okay, how would you actually describe the impact of music and talents that it has in to actually change a community or a mindset?
Music played a very vital role during the civil rights movement and in any movement. Without the music, personally, I don't believe there would have been a movement. And I've explained why I said that.
Rutha, do you have a go-to song? I mean, if you had to pick one that you had to do before you departed this earth, what would it be? If you had a go-to song, okay, and it was going to be the last one you ever sang, what would it be?
What would be my go-to song? Walk with me, Lord. Walk with me. Walk with me, Lord. Walk with me. While I'm on this freedom journey, I want Jesus. I need Jesus. Gotta have Jesus. Oh, I need Jesus to walk with me. Yeah.
Oh, how do you see Black Lives Matter being similar to the civil rights movement? For example, how they were perceived in the media, how civil rights individuals were perceived as anti-American the same way. Civil rights and Black Lives Matter were both seen as anti-American in certain circles. How do you see similarities between the two groups?
Like I said before, the Black Lives Matter movement didn't have music. We had music. And I think if the Black Lives Matter movement had incorporated songs with their movement, it would have been more successful. That is why it didn't last too long. That's the only way I can answer that.
I think too, this music speaks to the spirituality of the movement. And
I heard a preacher say recently that he thought the Black Lives Matter movement would fail because it wasn't led by a spiritual person, as such as Reverend Martin Luther King. Of course, the music embodied that spirituality. And so because of that, you know, I think you have more opportunity for what's happening with the Black Lives Movement. The people can misinterpret it, they can, and I think it was a good movement, but I just think that because of the lack of spiritual leadership, which was, the music was part of that, it kept us, you know, in a spiritual vein as opposed to appearing like a combative group of people who were just fed up.
It'll take too long. There's a hand here. You had wait a minute. Somebody do. Okay. You too.
Do you believe that there's anything the Black community can do within themselves to find freedom?
Stop killing each other.
I'd like to know, what are some principles that you can leave us with behind the music? What are your
You have to make your own song. You have to change the lyrics of a song that you know. Change the lyrics to fit whatever the occasion is. That's how the songs of the movement came about. We changed the lyrics. Say, for instance, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. The only word we had to change was Jesus to freedom, because it was easier for the congregation.
All right, let's give another round of applause. Ms. Rutha, who's, what'd you say, 17? Was it 17?
76, huh?
And where did you start
What you mean?
singing? When you was in that picture? Did you see the picture you had up there first?
When I started singing with this real
Yeah.
singer, when I started singing
When you started singing?
in my daddy's church when I was 6 years old.
But still, look at this voice today. So we'd like to thank you for coming and sharing. Because a lot of the students have to go to class, but there'll be some more of her at this concert this weekend. It's a food drive, so bring your canned goods and come and support these students, like right here, Mrs. Santi, who's going to be singing. Come and support them, because a lot of them are going to be doing freedom music today, as they see it and as they define it. So we'd like to thank you so much.